Hey guys, Tommy here with Breathe Success. I am just bringing a video to you guys. I introduced my E46, my old BMW E46 in the last video, but today I wanted to introduce the new member to the family, my Audi A6. I'm loving it so far. I've only had it for like a month now. I put like 700 miles on it. So in that 700 miles, it's been pretty awesome, and we had the first snowfall here in Chicago, so the four-wheel drive is awesome. But I'm not here to talk about the car necessarily today, but more about what I did to get in the position where I could buy a car like this at a youngish age and feel comfortable and such. So 4 years ago, I really started my entrepreneurial start. So I started a studio. I was always into music. So something I told about in the last video is I started a recording studio out of my basement when I was probably 16. So I basically always was into rap music. I liked making beats and such. So alright, so it is Sunday night-ish. Working with some stuff, making some beats. I usually don't do a whole lot of beats anymore. It's kind of sad, but something I've been working on. I figure I might as well just toss in one of the other videos and get it to inspire somebody, show a little bit more about the music side of things and such like that. So let me know what you think. Alright guys, as I was messing around on Ableton, I was just saying how I never make beats, so it inspired me to make a beat, or at least, just mess around with something. So this is a sample from the YouTube channel Majestic Casual. So go check them out and let me know what the song title is, and let me know what you guys think about this. I started building up a clientele base and essentially just offered hourly studio time. And so at the time I was charging $20 an hour, so it felt awesome, and it felt really good because I was able to kind of manifest it on my own. I wasn't dependent on going to a job or working with anybody else to come up with that money. And while it wasn't a lot of money, it was at the same time. And I think what it meant was more important than the actual dollar value. So I continued doing that for a while, just kind of organic growth, friends of friends type stuff. I didn't really push it for a while, and so as it developed, I started taking it more seriously and figuring out that to really grow a clientele base, you got to put some money into advertising and such, and I'll get into that in later videos and stuff. But you don't need to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to pull in hundreds and hundreds of people. Facebook, Craigslist, a lot of other free promotion offer ways to really get the cost down and reach a lot of people for not a lot of money. So as I continued doing the studio stuff, it's grown into something a little bit more. I consider it more of just like a whole media company now. I do videography, I do photography for clients. I do show hosting. I shot that in the other video. So I put on my own shows with people, and I'm planning on expanding that whole thing a little bit more. I think getting into shows, bigger ticket items, is just a smarter thing to do. So I'm learning just as much as everybody else about what works and what doesn't. So once I got a little bit more set up with the ICE Studios income, I started looking into a product called Plastidip. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's a sprayable kind of paint. It's like rubber based, so it's removable, and I saw a business opportunity. It was just a new product on the market. I bought the little system that you need to spray the product and such, and once I had that, I started advertising. I pretty much started out with just a Facebook page. I wasn't putting money behind it, and then a Craigslist ad, and having a good Craigslist ad is a really important thing too. Once again, I'll touch that in another video. But what I really started doing is I had a little bit of experience under my belt. I had done my car, so I'd done a full car, and then typically a lot of the clients that I worked with only wanted to do their wheels, so I had done a few wheels in the day. I had worked on my brother's car, my own, and some friends and family type stuff. So I had a little bit of experience, but I just kind of want to emphasize that I wasn't the godfather of Plastidip. I was learning along the way as well, but I felt like I knew enough that people would trust me with their cars, and they did. So over time, the last 2 years that I started that business, it's it's grown. Once again, it's kind of seasonal because it's fucking cold out in Chicago, so can't really be doing it now due to the weather. But I'll show you a little bit later on that, you know, it's able to make some money. And I used to charge $150 to do wheels, and that usually took around 4 hours to do. Less materials, you're looking at like $125. So I was making, you know, a good amount of money hourly and doing something that was just kind of fun to me, and I thought it was nice to be able to offer something like that to people that wanted to get their car looking a little bit more fancy pants. So throughout all this, you know, I did have a day job, so I wasn't able to completely supplement my own income by myself. I started working with a company that I talked about earlier in the first video, that we sold body kits. The name was Prior Design, and it was a really small business. It was just me and another guy, and basically what they did is they sold body kits and car parts for really high-end cars. We did a lot of Mercedes, BMW, Lamborghini, Ferrari, stuff like that. So that was an awesome experience. One, because it was small business focused. It was just me and another guy, so I got to kind of see a lot of the details of the business. And you know, it was nice to see another entrepreneur. He was young, and you know, doing well, and had this business going. So it was nice to kind of see him develop it as well. And I got kind of a first person view of how a small business ran. So I did that for around 2 years, and I feel like I learned a lot of good advice and just knowledge through him, and just, you know, kind of working on the business. He wasn't around a whole lot, so I ended up running a lot of the business myself. Ray, if you ever watch this, you know that's true. So I basically got just a lot of good experience, and it allowed me to get somewhat of a constant paycheck, learn how to work sales, learn how to deal with customers and such like that, while having a little bit of a fallback in case things didn't happen. So I was able to build up my small businesses in the meantime while I was working and getting a paycheck, and I think that's another thing that is very important. Don't quit your day job and decide to just start something that hasn't been proven yet. Sometimes it can take a while to you know, validate an idea or really start making some solid money, but I would say look for consistent monthly income off something before you really decide to turn your back on something else. So now, between working with Prior Design and having those 2 side gigs, I was able to comfortably afford my BMW. I actually bought that all out in cash. I paid $8 grand for it 2-3 years ago now. And I felt like that was a big achievement for me and a big expenditure, and I felt really proud of that car. I was 19 when I bought it. I bought it a couple days before my birthday, so I can say that I bought a BMW at 19, which was you know, a good thing in itself. So how do we get to the Audi? It's a little bit different of a ball game and such. So I somewhat recently, once again, brought it up in the other video, so go check that out if you haven't seen that. But one of my mentors, I don't want to say business partner, but some of the guy that helps me out, he owns that Lamborghini Huracan that I've showed around. So he works with me. He owns some medical practices, and what he does is he has a bunch of different businesses, but I help him out with one. He sells, let's just say, cosmetic surgeries. We do a couple of different things, and I won't dive into too much detail, but he's offered me a straight commission deal off those things. So I help him close patients, get them all scheduled and organized, and they're big ticket items. Average surgery runs $8,000 to $12,000, so I make a commission off of that, and that along with those 2 other businesses have really allowed me to you know, afford this car and feel comfortable about doing so. I'm no longer working with Prior Design. I left there probably 6 months ago now to do everything out on my own. And between those 3 things, I stay quite busy. And as I mentioned in the other video, also a college student. So you know, I have a pretty packed schedule now, but I kind of want to start bringing just content to people because I feel like I should be able to help out. I hopefully have some information that I can give young entrepreneurs, especially guys that are starting out their first business, some tips and tricks on how to keep it easy, fun, and exciting. So as of today, I'm still doing the studio stuff. It has turned into no longer just bar money, but anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a month, just extra income. The Plasti Dip business, Plasti Dip Chicago. Has good months and bad months, but you know, I've made the same figures as Ice Studios. I've made over 1,000, close to 2,000 bucks just in a month by doing a couple of cars, and you know, keeping the hours low. So I do that, and then between the surgeries and all of that, you know, I'm able to do what I like. I don't go into an office ever. I don't have a desk job. I don't have a day job. I don't have to call in sick if I'm not feeling well. I just don't book things. I'm able to take lunches with people that I want to meet. I don't have to worry about vacation time. And I think that's a really big deal to me. And I think that's half the reason that I really wanted to do this entrepreneurial thing. It is Monday, and I am not behind a desk. I am out here filming the car. So all in all, I just really want to instill in people that it is possible at a young age to start businesses that are, you know, legit businesses, that you know, you can do something that you enjoy. You know, you don't need to really push selling t-shirts online with funny pictures on them. I mean, if that's your thing, awesome, but you know, if you are into music, or if you're into cars, or if you're into fucking sports or anything, I mean, there's a way to make money doing it. I can guarantee you that. And if anyone has an idea or something that they're into and they just can't figure out a way to bring a business out of it, shoot us a message. I'd really like to help people out. So yeah, hopefully that gives a little bit more information about me, on the things to do, and I'm going to be doing a couple more videos about some of the things I wanted to talk about that, you know, kind of deserve their own video. So keep watching, stay tuned. Thanks guys.